Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Jai Shri Ram. Welcome to our next episode in our complete reading of Srimad Valmiki Ramayana. So in yesterday's episode, we saw how Sri Ramachandra spoke to Kausalya Ma and tried to convince her. He tried to convince her that whatever he was doing was the correct thing. We don't know whether Kausalya Ma got convinced or not, because she's still saying that she would not give the permission to Sri Ramachandra to move to the forest. But now Sri Ramachandra has shifted his attention from Kausalya Mata to Lakshmana Swami. Lakshmano Lakshmi Sampanno Tava Lakshmana Janami Mai Snehamanuttamam Vikramam Chaiva Satyam Cha Tejascha Sudurasadam. O Lakshmana, I know the love and the amount of friendship you have for me, your parakrama, your energy, your strength. I know all these things. O Lakshmana, my mother is now not knowing the difference or the root for Satyam, Shanti. She is not able to understand what is the root for all this, and that's the reason why she is in such great pain. O Lakshmana, please realize this much. Dharmo hi paramo loke dharmam satyam pratishthidam dharma samsritametaccha pitur vachanamuttamam. In this world, the root cause of the happiness or the root cause for truth and the most important thing or the greatest thing in this world is dharma. Even Satya, the truth, is based on dharma. And our Father has already told the words that are as per dharma. So please understand, Samsrutyat Piturvakyam Maturva Brahmanasya va Nakartavyam Brudha Vira Dharma Masritya Tishtada. Any person who is living based on dharma, he should never go back on a word that he has given to his father, his mother, or a Brahmana. Soham na sekshyami pitirniyogam ativartitum piturhi vachanadvira kaikeyasmi prachoditaha. O Lakshmana, I will not cross the line that the father has drawn. Atikrama here actually means someone who is crossing the line. So I'll never cross the line that the father has drawn for all of us. And Kaikeyi also, she is not imposing her rule on us. She is only trying to impose what our father's word was. Hence, as per Kshatriya Dharma, please leave these bad thoughts and go in the line of Dharma. Leave the kruratva or the cruelty and follow my thought process. He said to Lakshmana like this, and now he again went to Kausalyama and he is saying, Uvacha bhuyah Kausalyam pranjalis sirasanataha. So again he is now talking to Kausalyama, and this time he is bowing down to her, his head is down, his hands are in the namaskara position, and he is saying, Anumanyasvamam devi gamishyanto mito manam shapitasi mama pranaihi kurustyastya nanime. He is saying, Oh mother, I have decided to go to the forest. Please give me my permission, and I am, giving you a word, and I am taking a vow on my life itself. So please let me go. And as a mother, you are supposed to do a few things for me because I am going on a long travel. Please do all that stuff. And he is saying, in the olden days, there was this Chakravarti called Yayati. He had to leave the heaven once, and then he had to come back again. So he went out and he came back again. Similarly, I'll finish this pratigya of mine, this word of mine, and I'll come back to the cities after spending the needed time in the aranyas. Sokas sandharyatam matuhu hrudaye sadhuma suchaha vanavasadi haishami punah krutva piturvachaha. O mother, please don't be sad. If you have got any sorrow, suppress it in your heart. I will follow the father's order and I'll come back from Vanavasa and again I'll meet you. Tvaya maya cha vaidehya Lakshmanena Sumitraya Piturniyoge Stathavyam Esha Dharma Sanatanaha. So the line Esha Dharma Sanatanaha has come from this wonderful sloka. The sloka is sloka number 48 of the Sarga 21 of Ayodhyakanda. Esha Dharma Sanatanaha. This is what is Sanatana Dharma. He is saying, Sri Ramachandra is saying, you, I, Sita, Lakshmana, Sumitra, all of us should follow the words of our father. This is the dharma that we are all bound to, because the father here is the head of the family. We are all supposed to go by what he is saying right now. There is another deep meaning to this. The expectation here is that Dasharatha has arrived at this conclusion after checking all his options, and hence there is no other go for all of these people. If Dasharatha did not check for the options, if Dasharatha had other options, probably things would have been different. But here, Dasharatha also, he argues with Kaikeyi for a lot of time, right? And he is not convinced, but then he realizes he doesn't have an option. That's indirectly being told by Sri Ramachandra here. He's saying that, the father has already exhausted all the options. Hence, there is no point in we making a mountain of this molehill. So that's what Sri Ramachandra is saying here. And now, Amba Sambriti Sambharan Dukkam Hrudini Gruhyacha Vanavasa Kruta Buddhir Mama Dharmyasu Vartyatam. Oh mother, this Abhisheka Sambharas that are here, you kindly withdraw all of them, suppress whatever sorrow you are getting now, whatever dukkha you are getting now, suppress it in your heart. Please let me go to this Vanavasa. The moment Kausalya heard all this, she almost fell down, and everyone thought she almost died. From there, she again regained her consciousness, and here she is saying, यथैवते पुत्रपिता तथाहं गुरुस्वधर्मेण सुहृत्तया च नत्वानुजानामि नमां विहाय सुदुःखिता मर्हसि गन्तुमेवम्. O son, by the dharma that I am supposed to follow, by sneha, the love and affection, the way your father is a guru to you, similarly I am also a guru to you. We all say that mother is the first guru, right? Hence, she is saying, I am not going to give my permission. I am crying unconsolably here, and you want to leave? Please don't do that to me. Kim jiviteneha vinatvaya me lokena va kim swadhayamrutena श्रेयो मुहूर्तम तपसन्निधानम ममेह कृत्स्नाद अपि जीवलोकात. What is the use of me living here without you, Sri Ramachandra? I will not have any sort of happiness, even if they give me, the amrit, even if they give me the nectar, even if they give me that one drink that makes me immortal. I shall not be happy, because if I lose you, nothing gives me happiness. And then now Sri Ramachandra is totally, the situation is going out of control. And the person who is supposed to endure all this stress, all these problems is Sri Ramachandra. And now he is convincing people that he has to go and do it, while everybody around him here is saying, no, you rebel against your father, we will stay, or we will give you all our support. Look at how tough it would have been for Sri Ramachandra. On one way, he has got to endure the Vanavasa, and at the same time, he has got to convince everybody else that the Vanavasa was good. When you look at this, you realize that Sri Ramachandra was not having even an iota of pain for this verdict that his father has given to him, or for whatever Kaikeyi has told him. He is taking everything at a same level. Again, remember a sloka from Bhagavad Gita, Sukha Dukkhe Same Sneha Labha Labho Jaya Jayo, means Sukha and Dukkha, that man is taking at the same level. And that's what Sri Ramachandra is all about. Standing like a rock in the face of adversity and convincing people that, okay, I'll go, let me do this. I mean, you really need a special kind of heart and a special kind of intellect to speak like this at a situation like this. And now again, Sri Ramachandra is saying, and probably only Sri Ramachandra can say this sort of words. He's saying, Aham hite Lakshmana nityameva janami bhaktim cha parakramancha mamattvabhipraya masarniriksha matra sahabhyarthasi masu dukkham. Hey Lakshmana, I know the devotion that you have for me, but without knowing my opinion, please don't side with the mother, because you have already sided with her and you are creating great distress for me. Dharmadhakama khalutata loke samikshata dharmafalodayeshu te tatra sarve syurasamsayam me bharyeva vasyabhimata suputra. This is a sloka that everyone should put in bold, italic, underlined, because see, in Sanatana Dharma, we have dharma, artha, kama and moksha. And if you are doing your dharma properly, if your artha means the way you earn your money is tied with your dharma. If your kama, the desire, kama doesn't just mean desires of a bodily desires and all. Kama actually means any sort of desire that you have. I want to buy a very good car, a new car, that's kama. I want to eat good food, that's kama. So as long as your artha and kama are tied to dharma, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, right? Moksha will come into your hands automatically. So here Sri Ramachandra is saying, hey Lakshmana, try understanding this. Whenever we want to do something, whenever we want to get the results of dharma, we should do the duty that is prescribed as a part of dharma. And anyone who doesn't trespass the limits of dharma and uses ardhakamas that way, they will automatically give all the fruits which are dharma sammata. Now he's giving an example. He's saying, imagine when a person has a wife who is good and who has given him good children, and she is the one who is liked by him. In his whole life, he will be able to do the dharma acharana very easily, very simply, because she is the person, the dharma patni is there with him to help him out in all these things. Look at Rama's respect for the woman, and he's saying a person who gets a good wife, he would automatically be in the path of dharma. And I don't have any doubts on this, is what he's saying. And then he's moving on and he's saying, Esmim sarve surasannivishta dharmo etasyat padupakrameta dveshyo bhavatyardha parohi loke kamatmata khalvapina prasasta. If you are leaving the path of dharma and now you are talking that we should take over the kingdom and all, which is a part of kama, if you give importance only to money instead of dharma, in dharma, artha, kama, mokshas, if you are more linked with artha, you will be hated by one and all. That's what Sri Ramachandra is saying. And if you are giving into kama, that is definitely going to pull you down in this life. Hence, we should follow the path of dharma. And he's saying, Guruscha Rajacha Pitacha Vruddha Krodhat Praharshad Yadivapi Kamat Yadvyadiset Karyam Aveksha Dharmam Kastanna Kuryad Anusamsa Vruttihi. Saying, Father was not angry when he made this decision. Father was not taken over by kama when he is taking this decision. But still, anybody in this world, even if his father has ordered him due to anger, due to happiness, or due to the kama, whenever he has given that order, the son should always do it. There is no other go for the son. Only people who have got cruelty in their mind will not go ahead and do it. And finally, Sri Ramachandra is almost winding up his argument, or the first set of his arguments, by clarifying Dasharatha's position and Kausalya's position in the hierarchy. And he is saying, Savaina seknomi pituh pratigyam mimama kartum sakalam yadhavat sahyava vayostata gururniyoge devascha bharta sagatis sadharmaha. O Lakshmana, I am not going to cross the line of dharma at any point of time. Our father is the head of the family and his word is the rule for all of us. And even for my mother Kausalya, it's my father's word which is more important. He is the person who is handling dharma correctly here. And then he's also continuing this. He's saying, as long as Dasharatha Maharaja is alive and he is still going by the path of dharma, how can my mother Kausalya leave him and come to the woods with me as if she doesn't have the protection of her husband? So there is no way in which she can come, because she is still being protected by him, and he has not made an unjust decision. This is what Sri Ramachandra is very, very clearly saying here. And he is saying, Samanumanyasya vanam vrajantam kurushvana syastya yanani devi yadha samayipte punara vrajeyam yadahi satyena punaryayatihi. Ma, please give me permission. The way Ayati went out of heaven and came back to heaven, I would also go and I would also come back. And saying this, he almost, convinced his mother at least the tears stopped, and Lakshmana also got a very nice Upadesha. And now Sri Ramachandra thought that he convinced them, and he's also going ahead and telling a few more things to Lakshmana, saying, "Hey Lakshmana, please leave the anger. Start thinking in a normal way. Don't think that we have been insulted here. And my request to you would be to remove all these sambharas that were brought for my Abhisheka into Kausalya Mata's place. Please remove all these." And here Sri Ramachandra is telling one more thing. He's saying, do you think that all these decisions are coming from these people alone? No. Oh Lakshmana, they are not coming from these people alone. There is a force behind that is making these people do all these things. And that force, my dear Lakshmana, is called Devada. It is the Daivi force. It's the power of the ultimate, the Almighty God. It is He who is making this entire script and making us follow into that. Otherwise, Kaikeyi Ma, who loved me so much, why did she turn against me in one night? This essentially means that this is God's play. Saying this, Sri Ramachandra tried to convince Lakshmana, and he's saying, "Hey Lakshmana, we should never go against the will of the God. So please don't criticize Kaikeyi. Please don't criticize anyone. This is what Bhagavan has wanted. This is what God has wanted, and hence this is going this way." This is how Sri Ramachandra tries to convince Lakshmana. Let us see how Lakshmana responds to this in our next episode. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pasyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet, sarvam saturi sai samharasvam charanarvindarpadastu. Swasti. Jai Shri Ram.